What's going on? This is Divyn checking in from outer space. We are here with industry's most wanted. Yes, sir. My girl TampaMystic is in the building, and again, I am Divyn.
Tell him you ain't got the time. He tripping cause you outside tonight. Insecure because he know you fine. Forget that new. You should hit a reset. Kick him to the curb, yeah. Pop out with your girls, yeah. Reset. So you can.
Hey, what's going on, man? It is your girl TampaMystic, and we are live on the Industry's Most Wanted podcast. Boom. Big Industry's Most Wanted, not the little one. Is Divyn, all the way from outer space, man.
Yes, sir.
Out here just, floating around, doing your thing. You my alien cuckoo, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. We here and there. We everywhere. We just representing, I don't like to represent any specific place.
Understood.
Because, what I'm saying, I represent for the whole universe, you know what I mean?
I love that. That is really, really dope. Well, listen, bro, I appreciate you being here. First and foremost, you came out and celebrated with the big OG for his birthday bash.
Oh, you know it, man. Big up to bigger ranking.
Facts, man. That's my best friend, my business partner. So I'm gratitude and grateful when other people show him love and respect, because you know how it is with your family. Same thing with these guys, right?
Absolutely.
Definitely. Let's just dive into that real quickly. What was your experience like being able to perform at the OG's birthday bash?
Oh man, it was an honor and a privilege, man. He's he's one of the industry's best, man. He's been doing it for decades, and I respect what his contribution to this game.
Yes.
And it was my privilege and honor to be there to give that salute and give him his flowers in the moment that he needed it. You never know.
That is facts, because Big has been through a lot. A lot of people don't know, but he's on dialysis 3 days a week.
I do know.
And it's like
him I love.
What he goes through. I'm like, gosh, like you said, we got to give people their flowers while they're here.
That's right.
So let me give you your flowers. You're dope. You know what I'm saying?
That.
You're an amazing artist. You got a great team.
And look, somebody does exactly what we say.
Exactly. It's all good. Listen, the hotline blinging.
You know how they do.
Nah, listen, it happens to me. I've had the same schedule for years, yet people will still call me during this time, and I'm like, and they're blowing my phone. I'm like, bruh, I've told you 8,000 times.
But the line be dry when you're not,
exactly.
In the business,
Absolutely. So you're originally from Brooklyn, New York.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I have a secondary business partner who's also from Brooklyn. We've been working together, and I got my radio start. Shout out to DJ Clue. I worked with him for 3 years, and that's how I got my notoriety in the radio world. Tell us your experience growing up out there in Brooklyn.
Well, originally I was born and raised in a kind of offset environment. My father is a man named Dr. Malachi York, and he started this community in Brooklyn, which I was born in. I left there early on because my mother decided to move on.
Yeah.
And from there, I was in foster care. I had a very different and tumultuous childhood, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things that went on, but for the most part, it was all learning experiences that guided me and gave me the blessing of the information that I have today to give back to the world what I hope is some good music and good vibes.
Would you say that because of some of the things that you did endure or experience in your childhood, because I think we all experience some form of trauma coming up,
Absolutely,
is what led you to music?
I think not only that, but the struggle, but it's also the good, the positive, the energy that I was able to see. I was able to see different things from my father, from my mom, who was a single mom that struggled to take care of 7 kids.
Yes, so, understood.
Seeing those both sides of the spectrum, a very powerful father figure who wasn't really that much in my life as much as I would like him to have been, because he was such a mogul and trying to do things bigger than most. You'd have to look him up to see where that went. Growing up from having those different perspectives and seeing both sides of the spectrum, from being a regular guy growing up in the hood, in the actual projects from the Bronx, New York, all the way back to Brooklyn, New York, where I really mostly grew up in Coney Island. And it was rough in those streets. So, just growing up in the streets after coming from such a powerful Afrocentric background, it was a very big shift.
Yes.
So that was what gave me the strength and the insight to really push the music that I push now and try to uplift other people who've gone through those struggles.
I love that, man. I love what you stand for because it's important, especially a lot of the youth, they really tap into the music that's out here and they follow like what they hear in the music.
Absolutely.
So it's like it's up to artists like yourself to put out and spread good positivity. Not to say you can't have some fun turn-up records.
Gotta do both.
Gotta do both.
I try to blend it.
No, facts, but a lot of these artists, you got to stay away from, glorifying violence and stuff because they do that in their music, and it's just crazy to me. How long you been in the A?
I've been in the A almost, going on 10 years now.
Okay. So moving to Atlanta, was that a decision you made to not only maybe, kind of a fresh start, but also enhance what you have going on with your music?
Absolutely. It was a business venture for me because first, before I got into the music, I realized that music is a very expensive endeavor because I was working behind the scenes for years with different artists and doing artist development, marketing, promotions, doing all different kind of facets of different things, helping other artists to push themselves.
Yes.
And because of that, I saw how expensive it was and how the music industry changed to more monetary situation than it was the actual talent and the drive that it used to be.
Right.
So knowing that, I took a sabbatical for a little while and got a business, ran my business. Just I'm a handyman. You could check me out here also. I do handyman services all throughout Atlanta.
Dope.
And that's how I funded my own company and my own label, Divyn Music Group, with my brother, Keenan. And we just out here making it happen. And that's basically what it was. I had to fund myself so that I could actually chase my dreams. And that's something that a lot of us don't do. We choose to do, selling the drugs or whatever. And I tapped into that when I was younger. I tapped into a lot of different things when I was younger. And as I got older, I realized I wanted more substance. And for that, I just decided I was going to do something different and really put down roots with a business and be able to get business credit and use that and then run my own company and, from learning how to do business credit from that, I learned how to get business credit from my own label. And that's how I funded myself.
OPM, other people's money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Credit is king.
Come on, you know how you got to do it. You can't have cash, ain't always the king.
No, that is absolute facts, 100%. So being that you've been down here, you were able to put your business together.
Yes.
I can understand that because it's like if music is a true passion for you, you want to be able to fund it with money that's not going to wind you up in a bad situation.
Absolutely.
Listen, I don't knock nobody's hustle, but selling dope sometimes only lasts so long. You either end up incarcerated or maybe losing your life behind it, and it's just not worth it.
I agree. And to be honest, being music, especially hip hop music, has always had multifacets.
Yeah.
There's always been the positive and the negative side because it's been the voice of the people.
Yes.
And so what we view as negative, another person might view as their livelihood. It's just what they had to do to survive. And
absolutely.
I've been there. So I don't want to ever judge another person on how they get theirs. I just say that there's always another option, and to show that there's another option to our youth is where I'm at. I'm like, we could do it a different way and still get to that bag, because that bag you can get it multiple ways. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of kids today are getting it by being influencers, by doing whatever they can. And I prefer that than them being in the streets hurting each other. You know what I'm saying?
I agree 100%. Absolutely. And we appreciate you for putting that type of message out there. That's what's needed for the youth. Definitely. Absolutely. For people who haven't heard your music, without boxing yourself in, kind of describe the sound of what you're releasing to the world.
Okay. Well, I would say that I'm releasing positive energy with fun.
Yeah.
That's the key. I try to make it more, it's generally pop, R&B type of music. I try to get into some soul, but I do a little bit of rock. I mean, I could do a little bit of hip hop. I go a little bit of everywhere, but it's really just feel good music. I like to make feel good music, and I want to actually be stating something, talking about what actually goes on in my life, what actually goes on in people's lives, so that people can relate more to the music rather than it just being us always talking about what we want to have or what we wish we had or what we're trying to project that we have. I'm sorry. I want to more talk about what we've really been through and real life situations and relationships and how we can do better.
Absolutely. You're able to show people through your music how you overcome or overcame certain things. And that, again, that's important because that's what makes your music so relatable.
Exactly.
You want people to resonate with it. You want them to feel it.
Exactly.
And I love the fact that you're open to doing other genres of music.
Oh, anything, man. Anything.
Let's talk about that a little bit. How important is it to you as an artist to be able to, I heard you mention doing a little bit of rock, you know, there's country, there's pop, there's so many different genres out there. Not that you got to do all of them.
Yeah.
How important is it to you to tap into those to gain a new audience?
I mean, for me, it's really about the art of it.
Yeah.
So I embrace other arts and other artists.
Yeah.
And being able to be collaborative with those other artists, I have to be open-minded. And that, to me, that's important because it grows me as an artist.
Yes.
It allows me to see different avenues and different venues, different countries I might be introduced to, just because I want to do music in other languages and have them teach it to me as I'm doing the song.
I love it.
So these are things that I would love to do, and I'm open to any artist that's into that type of thing because I'm just open to people. I'm a people person, and I like to grow us as a people.
Yeah.
And really, the divisions and all of the separations that we have, you know, culturally, I try to break those divides with music.
Definitely. Tell us about the origin of your name.
The origin of my name. Wow. It's really very interesting because I was actually born with no name. So I spent 35 years changing my name. And and because of my father and the situation with going on with him, it actually happened to be at the time that he was going through his situation,
Yeah.
Which included FBI and all kind of things. They started investigating me, and they started pulling up a lot of dirt from my past, and caught me up in a lot of situations. And basically, they gave me an opportunity to start a new life and do things differently.
Like a new identity almost?
A new identity.
Wow.
They actually gave me a new identity.
That's a blessing.
And it was a blessing because the reality of it is I had to do nothing for it. All I did no real dirt in the past that they could do, like they could hold me for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just an opportunity to have something that I never had, which was stability.
Yes.
Not having identity allowed me not to have just an ID and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I couldn't get regular jobs. I couldn't go to college. I couldn't do those type of things, which later on in life became a hindrance. So that's why I was hustling and scrounging in the streets. But once I had the opportunity not to do that, that's when I chose to get a job, get a business, start to do things better. And that's the opportunity they gave me. It wasn't really nothing dealing with a crime or anything like that, or my father or anything
Yeah.
like that. It was more or less something dealing with me having too many identities that weren't linking up, and they didn't understand what was going on with me, so they just had me do one. And when they gave me the opportunity to choose, everyone always called me Izzy. That was my name.
Yeah.
That's always been my name. And I wanted to do something better with my life and choose a better path. And, you know, the divine path was the path that I chose. And the spelling was done by my mom, who, you know, chose my name for me. She chose that for me, and she decided that it was what I should try to do. And she was a numerologist and a doctor of metaphysics, and you know, she pushed black women's liberation,
Yeah.
and, you know, strength of black women. So she always pushed that on me, and that's what gave me the strength to do something different and be something different.
Listen, your life sounds like a real movie. Like, really, it sounds like a movie in a good way, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, to the point where you could potentially do a documentary about your life because you've probably experienced things that other people out here, a lot of other people have not. You know what I'm saying? Is that something that interests you at all?
Possibly. I mean, there's a lot of people and celebrities involved in things that I wouldn't probably be able to, I'd have to probably be able to check over before I speak on.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, I would be interested in, you know, some breaking it down and giving people anything that helps people to have a better understanding of how they can conquer their, you know, everybody has things that they go through in life.
Yeah.
And no matter how stressful or crazy you might think your life is, somebody else's life is in their own way just as crazy. So it's just about giving people the strength to go through whatever they have to go through in their lives and potentially overcome.
You are absolutely right, because, you know, a lot of people will be like, oh, woe is me, not knowing that somebody down the street may have they might not even have legs. They can't get up and walk like we can. You know, there's so many different things. And anytime I feel like something is not right in my life, I use that as motivation to fix it.
Absolutely.
You know, rather than making excuses, fix what the issue is or find out a way to resolve it. You know what I'm saying? So I love everything that you stand for. Let's talk about the upcoming project called Forever Love.
Yes, Forever Love is a album project that I've been working on, but you know, I'm a new artist, so I've been putting out different singles.
Yeah.
But the concept is bringing back forever love in our communities and just the world. It seems like we've lost that concept of staying together forever.
Yeah.
And actually being there for one another. It's very selfish that our mentalities have gotten to a very selfish place, and I feel like the world is a better place when we think more of each other than ourselves.
Man, that is facts. Everything you're speaking is like, you got that wisdom, because you're right. Like, I look at like my parents, my mom passed a couple years ago, but they were married for 48 years.
Wow.
Not that their marriage was perfect, but they worked through it.
Yes.
Like you said, nowadays people, one little thing happens, they're like, see ya.
That's it.
It's like, what happened to, like you said, the love and working through things and being committed to that person? So that's something that you're really working on bringing back, it sounds like. Changing the narrative.
I feel like it starts, that's one of the hashtags that I do. Let's change the narrative.
Yeah.
You know, together we could bring back good music, you know. We complain about things, but for me, it's about just being the one person to make a difference myself, like the man in the mirror type thing. I'm not really too much worried about what other people do as much as I want to start the energy that I want in my world.
Yes.
And then allow that to resonate to others.
Because it starts with you. Mm-hmm. It starts with us first. People are so quick to point the finger and blame, rather than, like Bigga says, point the thumb and take that accountability.
That's what it's all about.
Nah, that's facts. Is the record Reset going to be on the project?
Yeah, the record Reset is actually the push starter for the project.
Okay.
You know, because in order to heal, you have to first start. You got to reset your whole life. You have to look at yourself. You have to start all over and eliminate all of the things that cause you the stress and the aggravation and the headaches that is causing that. You know, it's kind of like it's like a domino effect.
Yes.
Once you have that negative energy continues in your life. It's like a neural network that connects in your brain that keeps making things.
Facts.
You know, when it rains, it pours type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, it just, I feel like when we do that same thing in the positive, then we'll connect that neural network and start a whole train of positivity in the world. So, I mean, those that want to follow that train, like I said, it's not a song, it's a movement. You know,
Definitely.
Everything that I push, the Who is Divine movement, who is divine, I believe we are divine. That's why I chose the Divine name and to represent divine, because I feel like it's more than just me. It's really about pushing that divinity back into people, because although we all out here being bad, you know what I'm saying, we intrinsically want to be good people.
Yes.
Everybody want to be looked at as a good person. Nobody wants to be viewed as a bad person. And in order for us to do that, we got to do what's right within ourselves.
Yeah.
Know what's right without looking at the audience or who's looking at us or social media or whatever. At the end of the day, in yourself, you know what's right.
Absolutely, because it's bigger than us.
That's absolutely
It's
right.
way bigger than us, and there's a lot of self-righteous people out here, and it's like, if they would just remove that mentality and understand it's not all about them,
right.
It's way bigger than us, and it takes us as a whole to change the narrative and, you know, what's going on in the world. So again, I love what you're spreading, the positivity. Let's talk about business wise. You know, you started a business, you said you're a handyman.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you work on?
Mostly, like, I mostly hang TVs, do light fixtures, build furniture. I mean, most light work for people in their homes when they don't, you know, really have much, especially a lot of single moms and people, elderly people that are not able to do for themselves. You know, those are the people that I like to help, you know, and really get things done. And then the accomplishment level, to feel that accomplishment, to know that you was able to do something and get paid a good wage to do it. Yeah. You know, while you're able to help other people. It's a good feeling. It's a direct reverse of the years that I spent doing the negatives. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think it's like a trade.
Yeah.
An AI cannot ever come along and take away what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like AI is taking over a lot of stuff, but what you do is very hands-on. It requires a human being.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to be. A lot of times I just gotta MacGyver some stuff. Like you just gotta figure it out. You can't, the technical way wouldn't work there.
Like this wall is not flush, but I'm gonna figure out hang this TV on it.
It's gonna make it happen.
No, that's dope though. I love that. I love the beard too.
I appreciate
the designs in there. Who does that for you?
I do it myself.
Okay, so it's like a signature. It like stamps you are. Yeah. Absolutely. How long you been in it? Look, it kind of slick matches on your shirt too.
The shirt is actually my face as a symbol. So
yeah, but like the design that's around it kind of almost mimics how the design you have in your beard.
I guess I'm kind of, kind of accustomed or like a certain imagery or look. So the designs may have been similar.
Absolutely. So is that a thing for you too, like barbering and stuff like that, or is it something you really just do for yourself?
Actually, a friend of mine, a DJ friend of mine, DJ AD, shouts out to DJ AD. He, years ago, we came up with this concept. I was like, yo, bro, I want to do some designs. Because everybody back in the days was doing designs on their head.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It was a big thing. So
I love that too. I miss that era.
Yeah, design. Remember, everybody used to cut the
eyebrows, the little side. I did it too. I even had the lines on the side of my head.
Come on, Yo,
I'm an OG. I experienced that era.
OG moment. Okay. So
that is hilarious.
Yeah. So when that was going down, I just wanted to be different as always. I was always the type of person that wanted to stand out and be different than the average. So I decided I wanted to try it on my face, and he came up with these different cool designs. I took pictures of them, and then I decided to continue to do it and ruined my face multiple times trying until
but you could always shave it off and grow it back,
and that's what I did. Shaved it off until I got it right, and then eventually I caught the hang of it and started doing little designs on my face.
And you know what's dope about it, because it's almost like a signature for you. It's something that's not outrageous. Some people do really weird outrageous stuff to get attention. That is something that's presentable, it looks good, and people are going to remember you just off of that.
Well, thank you.
Take the talent out of the equation, because they're going to remember you from your talent, but like, oh, that's the guy with the dope beard. Do you ever color it?
I haven't done all of those extra things yet.
Put a little color in there, make it pop.
I don't know. I'm trying not to be too colorful, if you know what I mean. I try to stick to my, for right now, I may dabble with things in the future, but for now, I'm just trying to make one image stick.
Yes.
And I think when you do too much, sometimes you lose people.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to stick to what's comfortable to me.
Understood.
Right now. Understood. And then as I grow as an artist, I may dabble into some color and some other stuff.
Even if it's just like a little blonde or something, because I think you could pull that off. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I never tried.
And then, like you said, if you don't like it, boom, shave it off. Does it grow back fairly quickly?
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I have to touch it up every 2 days or so. And
just some clippers.
Yeah, mostly clippers. Sometimes I use a little bit of dye to tighten it up, to make it a little sharper.
Yeah, of course.
But I try not to use too much and I don't want to have that weird look.
Yeah, because there's some men out there that looks. You could tell it's fake. A little bit of enhancement is fine. It's almost like putting a little bit of auto-tune on your music. A little enhancement's okay, but you don't want to overdo it.
Exactly.
I get it.
I don't even do that with my music. I don't like too much auto-tune.
Yeah, a little bit's okay to just kind of make it more appealing to the ear, but again, you don't want to sound like a robot either.
And plus, I'm kind of still old school, and I feel like either you can sing or you can't.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I respect that aspect of the art for those that do use so much of the auto-tune, because it's an art of its own to really blend on that auto-tune.
Yes.
But I feel like as a singer, I want to be able to at least have some voice.
Understood. Let's dive into that a little bit. Over the years, take your music out the equation, all your original music. What's like a cover song that you've really just loved to sing over the years? Let's pay homage to whoever that artist is.
That artist would be Chris Jones. It was a group called Chris Jones. It was a two-man group that was signed to Jay-Z back in the days.
Okay.
And I swear, to this day, I still have them in my playlist. They had an album called Ghetto Sereno, and that was a classic album for me. Also, I listen to a lot. I listen to Chris Brown. I listen to a lot of those people, Usher. I listen to people like that.
What about Tank? You like Tank?
Tank is awesome.
My fave.
He's a genius.
He is.
Lyrically, I mean, he's
got his R&B Money podcast now.
Yeah, I give all kind of flowers to that brother. That's I would love to work with him someday. There's so many people I couldn't even begin to name, but classically, I'd have to go back to Michael Jackson. He would have to be my number one. I'm a number one fan forever.
He's the greatest ever to do it of all time, 100%. And I appreciate you being transparent and paying homage to these other artists, because some artists won't do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Again, it goes back to being self-righteous. It's all about them. We have to pay homage to the people who paved way for what we do.
I agree 100%. I mean, it took me almost 20 years to come out as an artist. I was so busy trying to help other people, and I really didn't to be honest, believe in myself as an artist. I always found flaw in my own music.
Yeah.
And didn't really feel like I was pushing the right buttons. But after a while, having the right people behind you to support you and tell you, you go ahead and do that. People like my friend Dougie Fresh, who always pushed me and said, hey, do that. Since I was young, he's always been in my corner.
Can you beatbox?
Can I beatbox? I mean, I can beatbox a little something. I ain't no Dougie, but I can do a little.
Come on, Dougie.
You know what I'm saying? But I can't do it like him. That's
for
the
real.
GOAT right
he was
there.
the GOAT with that. Definitely.
To this day, he's the GOAT.
I love it. I got to years and years and years ago. I got to see him in concert, and it was just such an experience. It was such an experience. He's super
the greatest
dope.
Entertainer.
100%. Him.
A lot of people don't know that he, he was mentor to a lot of different people in the game.
Yeah.
And helped a lot of people to develop themselves artistically, and
guys like that need their flowers.
They do.
A million %. Just like you, because there's going to be 20 years from now people doing what we're doing, talking about you the same way.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
that's
we're manifesting
it. That would
it.
be a blessing.
Definitely.
And I just push, like I said, for me, I'm here to give back, not really to take. So whatever I could give back, when people enjoy my music, when people tell me my music is good and they really enjoy it and it resonates with them, that's the blessing in itself.
Definitely. What was the transition like moving from New York out here to Atlanta? Because culturally, it's fairly different.
Well, actually, I didn't move from New York to Atlanta. I moved from New York to Macon, Georgia, and I spent 7 years in Macon, Georgia.
It's a dope city.
Artists. Oh yeah, Macon is my spot. It's like a home away from home.
Yeah,
I still have so many friends down there. And that's how I kind of connected to Atlanta.
Understood.
By working with artists in Macon, and I worked with so many artists in Macon, helping them promote themselves. I started a night called Monday Night Live down in Macon years ago. With a friend of mine, LJ Malone.
Doing like artist performances and stuff?
Yes, letting artists perform.
I love it.
And having DJs and different people. Years ago, you even came out. You and a lot of different people came out years ago to that to those events. And it was just showcasing a lot of the artists. So many different artists came from that platform back then. And we were just showing love. It was called Monday Night Live, and it was just to showcase the artists in Macon and because they really didn't want to leave Macon too much. So I tried to give them an outlet with Arletta, which is another person that helped me put it together. And we just got together and tried to do something for the people in Macon, and it was very successful. And that's how I kind of connected to people here in Atlanta, because different artists, major and up and coming, started coming down, and they let me promote for them down in Macon. So I would book them and bring them down, and that's how I got really connected. And then that made me come up here to Atlanta when I started working with Rocco and Future and them. It was I started booking them for different shows, and then once I did that, I started coming up here to do some work with different artists.
Definitely. Do you still get back to Brooklyn from time to time?
I do, but on occasion I go out there just to visit and just to catch the vibe, because I am a New Yorker at the core. But,
to heart, absolutely.
To heart. But at the end of the day, I've been here so long. I got a little piece of the South vibe with me, and I have a little love for them as well.
Yeah, definitely. You still have family in Brooklyn?
I do. I have some family in Brooklyn. I have family. My family is so large. I got family almost everywhere. So.
That's a beautiful blessing, though. That is a blessing. Is there anybody like in your immediate family that you talk to on the regular that's also involved in doing music?
Yeah, I have a lot of different family members that are involved in music. I don't necessarily talk to most of them on a regular.
Yes.
my brother Ishmael, he's a manager for the singer Joe. I have a lot of different family members that are connected. My brother Elijah, he's a singer. I have a brother that's I have so many brothers that are rappers, and my brother Relax, he's up in New York. Yay. He's a rapper. My brother Izzuddin, he's a rapper. My brother Mahdi, he's a rock star.
It's in your DNA.
I mean, these are just everyone's striving. Yeah, my father, he was years ago. He started one of the first black-owned record companies called York Records out of London, and he helped a lot of people from Jay-Z to Nas to a lot of people come, have some ties with my father. So it's definitely in the blood. But again, I try to make my own mark and my own, so I don't really communicate or talk too much to others as much as I should. I try to make my own mark in this industry and push the energy that I'm pushing.
I love that about you, because I'm the same way. It's like, oftentimes I won't even tell, like Big is an OG. He's been doing this for 30 years. But I don't usually start out saying, hey, by the way, that's my business partner, because I want people to respect me for my hard work. You know what I'm saying? If that comes along in the conversation, that's cool.
Right.
Most people figure it out because they see us working together and stuff like that. Same thing with your family. You've got people that's been making moves, but you're out here making your own name. You're your own person.
And that's what I strive to be. That's why I put myself as Izzy Divyn, not Izzy Divyn York. I'm Izzy Divyn. I'm still a York, and I love my family. I love my father, and I wish him the best. Free Dr. York. But overall, it's about making my own way in this life and hopefully making a positive name for my family that is not connected to whatever negativity that has been promoted throughout the history.
Understood. Going back to the project Forever Love, when can we anticipate the release of that?
Well, I've been releasing songs one by one. So we have Nana, which is one of my songs. You can check it out now on all the platforms. I'll be dropping a video for that soon. Reset, which is doing very well right now, and people tend to like that one.
Yeah.
You can check that one out. Just check it's Divyn, IZDIVYN on all platforms, and you'll be able to check out Reset. I'll be dropping a video for that on the 18th of this month.
Okay, you filmed it out here?
Yeah, I've actually filmed it in my home.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
So, I kind of rebuilt my own home out here. We gutted it.
You the handyman.
Yeah, I'm a
you could do that.
So I built my own little palace out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is dope, man. One more thing I want to tap into real quick is real estate is something that you're interested in as well. Tell us, at what level real estate is something you're tapping into.
Well, I purchased my home when I first got it here, and I got a real good rate on it, and I saw some real potential in it. And because I have the ability to, renovate and build on my own, I save a lot of money with that. So it just makes sense to get into real estate. So that's a project that I'm working on now, funding myself for real estate. But again, I paused on the real estate for a moment as I started to get into the endeavor music, because it has its own finance and things that
Understood.
I work on. But yeah, that's also something I'm working on. I'm looking at getting into commercial real estate, getting some properties in that, maybe getting a little club or something. There's a few different avenues I'm looking at.
I love it. Absolutely. And you can, if you buy a house that needs some work done, boom, you could do it yourself.
You do
fix it up, flip a little flipperooski.
There you go.
It's a big business.
It is.
A lot of money in that. But I can understand that, with stuff like that, real estate is really something you have to focus on full time.
Absolutely.
If you want to make a career out of it.
Absolutely.
Right now, music is at number one for you.
Absolutely.
Understood, and I respect that 100%. Definitely.
I'm a focused person. Once I focus on something, I like to put my all into it.
Yeah.
And then once I give myself a time period of accomplishment, and once I, reach that accomplishment, which I usually reach my accomplishment, I don't really think too much of a failure. But once I reach that accomplishment, then I can move on to a new project.
Period.
You know what I mean?
Love it. Absolutely. Thank you for being here today and sharing your journey. I appreciate it.
Thank you
know
for
what I'm saying?
having me. I
of
appreciate
course.
you so much. TampaMystic in the building.
In the building. Definitely.
Yes.
Couple things we got to do before we get up out of here. Okay. One, tell everybody right here, look at this camera. Tell them where to follow you at.
Okay. You can follow me on IG at WHO. That's WHO_IZ_DIVYN. That's Who Is Divine with 2 underscores.
Absolutely. Most definitely. I know you got a lot of people that love you. You got 2 of them with you today.
Absolutely.
Who do you want to give thanks to and just say, I appreciate you, gratitude, give them their flowers? for supporting you?
Well, first I want to give thanks to the Most Highs, you know what I'm saying, because the Creator, you can't do it without Him. Secondly, I wanted to give thanks to my mom, my father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Both of them gave me life, gave me purpose, and gave me the mind that I have to do all that I do. And then from there, I'd like to thank my brother who stood behind me. Keenan, KB, everybody know him as KB. He's always been in my corner, you know what I'm saying? That's like my twin, you know what I'm saying, even though we ain't twins. But, and then I got my boy Blocker who set all this up. He's been very helpful to me, just getting me out there.
It's the family right there.
Yeah, that's the family. And then I got my Bomb Squad family out here too.
Okay.
We doing big things, rolling in mass, you know what I mean? So shout out to the Bomb Squad, you know what I mean? To my boy Ice and Blade and all the Bomb Squad.
Got you. One last question for you.
Yeah.
Boom. Where are we at?
Industries.
We are in Industries Most Wanted.
The big one, not the little one.
Never the little, always the big.
The biggest.
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody what makes you the Industries Most Wanted.
What? Divinity. Bringing back divinity. We all want it. We all want positivity. We all want that good energy. And that is what makes me the Industry's Most Wanted, because you want it. You want it. And it's time to bring back truth. It's time to bring back that good energy and be honest, be honest with yourself.
Man, I couldn't have said it any better. Shout out to you, man, for being here today. I appreciate the positive vibes, good energy. Of course, this ain't gonna be the last time. We just gonna keep on working.
You know how we do.
That's what we do. We hustlers. I'm a hustler, baby.
Yeah, girl. Oh, and I had to shout out to this dope ass cup.
Oh yeah, that's my pimp cup. I'm a pimp, y'all. That
boss.
Pimp juice.
You got a boss in the building.
Big facts. We up out of here, y'all.
Peace.
He been getting on your nerves, yeah. Send that to the left. That energy you need to curve, yeah. He wanna keep you to